How many nights we been out here? I'm losing track on my underwear.
You got right side out, front ways and backwards. Then inside out, front and back. I'm right side back. I haven't been changing them.
Yeah, I'm thinking Santa Blanca can smell us from about 5 clicks out by now.
Okay, tell me if you've heard this one. A sailor sitting in a bar.
I've heard this one.
I don't give a shit. Anyway, this sailor's sitting in a bar and he leans over to the guy next to him and he says, "You want to hear a Marine joke?" And the guy next to him replies, "Before you tell the joke, you ought to know. I'm 6 feet tall, weigh 200 pounds, and I'm a Marine. The guy next to me is 6'2", weighs 225, and is also a Marine. And the guy next to him, he's 6'5", weighs 250, and is a Marine too." Now he says, "Do you still want to tell that joke?" The sailor thinks about it for a minute, then shakes his head. "Nah," he says, "I don't want to have to explain it 3 times." So these 2 Marines board a flight to Houston.
Marines and planes. This ought to be good.
No sooner had they settled down into their seats than an Army corporal comes down the aisle and took the seat next to them. So the corporal settles in, pulls off his boots, and gets comfortable. Now the 2 Marines take one look at this guy and decide they're going to have a little fun. After the plane's in the air, the Marine in the window seat turns to the corporal. "Hey buddy," he says, "you mind grabbing a drink for me?" "No problem," the Army guy says, and hops up to get a drink from the flight attendant. While he's gone, the Marine takes one of the corporal's boots and spits in it.
That's just nasty.
The corporal comes back with the Marine's drink. He's just getting comfortable again when the second Marine grins and says, "Hey man, that drink sure looks good. You mind getting one for me too?" And you know what? The corporal just grins. "You bet," he says, and hops right on up. As soon as he's gone, the Marine grabs the other boot and hawks a big old loogie right inside. The Marines sit back and enjoy their drinks now. A couple hours later, the bird touches down and the corporal pulls on his boots. Right away, he knows what's happened. He turns to the jarheads, who are both giving him these shit-eating grins. How long must this go on? This hatred, this animosity, this spitting in boots and pissing in drinks.
Hey, did you hear? The Pentagon decided they had too many generals, so they decided to get rid of some of them.
It's about damn time.
Well, somebody with the Joint Chiefs came up with the idea of offering $10,000 of severance pay for each inch of the general's body. And the generals could be measured any way they chose. An Air Force general goes first. Now, he's a smart guy, so he says he wants to be measured from head to toe. And they measure him up and come up with 70 inches, so he accepts a severance of $700,000. Next up was an Army general. Now this guy says he wants to be measured from the tip of his right finger to the tip of his left finger. The measurement comes out to 80 inches. And the Army general smiles and takes a severance of $800,000. I'm driving. The 2 generals are mighty damn pleased with themselves. But this Marine general's been watching the whole thing. And after a couple of minutes, he steps up. He says, "You pukes are gonna measure me from the tip of my dick to the bottom of my balls."
Man, Marine generals are kinky.
And the men doing the measuring are confused. "Sir, are you sure you understand how this works?" one of them says. "Just do it, maggot!" The Marine general barks and drops his trousers. Well, the 2 men get out the measuring tape, steal their courage, and get to work. They start at the tip of his dick, but as they work their way down, they see that the general's got no balls.
Plot twist.
One of the men says, "Sir, where are your balls? Left him back in Vietnam," the Marine general says.